What does it really mean for an AI to think? Today, we're diving deep into Interview.net Web API. API roles dominate backend hiring. Interviewers evaluate system design through the lens of ASP.NET Core. Surface-level syntax, recall, no longer suffices. This framework maps every question to a pipeline stage. But here's where it gets interesting: the preparation gap. Candidates memorize CRUD controllers. They cannot reason about middleware ordering, authentication flow, or serialization boundaries. Existing guides teach features, not architectural judgment. The interview rejects shallow answers. So what's the real problem? Let's talk about root cause: missing a mental model. No unified topology connects routing, filters, DI, and hosting. Isolated knowledge collapses under cross-cutting questions. Interviewers ask, what happens between HttpRequest and Unsackstad? Candidates lack a system view. This raises a critical question: breakthrough. Pipelina's question framework. Every interview inquiry maps to a node in the ASP.NET Core request pipeline. The framework treats the pipeline as the universal answer scaffold. It transforms "how does X work" into "where does X sit in the pipeline?" Architectural reasoning replaces rote memorization. Now let's zoom in on system. The layered interview topography. Host middleware routing, authorization, model binding, action filter pipeline. Result: execution serialization. Response: each layer generates a distinct question family. Master the topology. Answer any variant. Here's something most people overlook: component, HTTP foundation, and middleware. Request, response abstraction, Kestrel, reverse proxy. Middleware order, use, run, map, branching. Questions probe short-circuiting, exception handling, and per request DI scoping. Think about this for a second. Component, routing, DI, and configuration. Endpoint routing, route constraints, link generation, DI lifetimes, singleton, Klupov, transient, and captive dependencies. Options pattern versus configuration binding interview expects deep wiring. And this is where things get complex. Component, security, and model binding. Authentication schemes, SHA-WT bearer, policy-based authorization. Model validation, custom binders, input formatters, cross-cutting filters, resource action, result, exception. But here's where it gets interesting. Workflow. From question to pipeline node. Question: how do you enforce global validation? Async action filter placement. Optimize heavy transient creation. DI tree object pool. Support multiple clients. Output formatter negotiation. Content type mapping. Workflow diagram. Parse intent, locate, layer articulate mechanics, justify placement. So what's the real problem? Let's talk about impact. Architectural fluency as differentiator. Before memorizing 50 endpoints. After reconstructing any pipeline on demand. Interviewers note calm, layered reasoning. Offers correlate with system-level articulation. This raises a critical question: future .NET 8 minimal APIs, native AOT. Minimal API reshapes routing but preserves pipeline spine. Fast startup, reduced memory, interview questions shift to performance trade-offs. Framework adapts topology remains the core. Now let's zoom in on adopt the framework. Interview preparation, architectural training. Every .NET Web API candidate learn the pipeline, then practice revealing it. The framework is open. Incorporate custom layers, new middleware. Become the candidate who draws the pipeline.